Toleranz sollte eigentlich nur eine vorübergehende Gesinnung sein. Sie muss zur Anerkennung führen. Dulden heißt beleidigen. Guten Abend, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, liebe Freunde. Herzlich willkommen im Goethe-Institut. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear friends. It's such an honor. I'm delighted to extend my very warm welcome. It's been an adventurous day. A bumpy ride. We didn't know whether the planes from Düsseldorf and from Rome would ever arrive, but you've made it in time, and it's wonderful to have your presence. We are so, what a relief, what a relief. So it's an honor and it's my pleasure to have Patricia Mindus and Volker Heinz here as our guests, and we're most delighted to see you. This is now the second part of our European lecture series called Reloaded European Values. My name is Arpad Sölter. I'm the director of the Goethe-Institut here in Sweden, and tonight we would like to discuss toleration and sympathy in immigration societies. So what future perspectives for tolerance, or rather intolerance, in Europe and beyond, what might they look like? According to the German poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, whom I quoted in German in my intro, to tolerate someone means to insult someone. Recognition is the key. Recognition is what it's all about. Now the question for tonight is, can we actually move beyond the opposition of toleration versus recognition? Let me very, very briefly, and both our keynote speakers have asked me to be very brief, even though they have long, never-ending lists of publications. So let me briefly introduce our speakers. Professor Dr. Heinz, Universität Duisburg-Essen, and Patricia Mindus, Professor for Practical Philosophy in Uppsala University. And Volker Tersman told me, my friend from Australia, that you were actually the first lady to become a professor on that chair in Uppsala University. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Volker Heinz is permanent fellow at the Institute for Advanced Study in the Humanities, KWI abgekürzt, Kulturwissenschaftliches Institut in Essen, Germany, and he's a member of the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of Duisburg-Essen. He's also on the executive board of the Center for Global Cooperation Research at the very same university. And his recent publications include Der Skandal der Vielheit, The Scandal of Diversity. Excellent book, and just look at the cover. Isn't this magnificent? He might tell you more about it. I'll place it right here for you to look at it, so you don't have to look at me all the time. Among his most recent publications are anti-immigration movements and the self-poisoning of the civil sphere, a beautiful title that you've picked, the self-toxification of the civil sphere, cultural pluralism and critical theory, more modest, and another one, more modest and more political, from the Frankfurt School to the liberalism of fear, between utopia and realism, the political thought of Judith Sklar, and Gift-Giving and Reciprocity in Global Societies. That's a book about Marcel Mauss, I understand. So as you can tell from just mentioning the brief titles, Volker has covered a wide range of topics. And in case you don't know this word yet, because I've actually learned it from you, it's now in my active vocabulary, it's convivialismus. Convivialismus. In case you don't know it yet, ask Volker what it all means. So, now, I'm your unpaid PR agent, but I'm doing fine so far. Thumbs up. As I've mentioned earlier, Patricia Mindus is professor in practical philosophy at Uppsala University. She's also the director of the Uppsala Forum for Democracy, Peace and Justice, and she's a political and a legal philosopher, and she's especially interested in topics like citizenship, democracy, e-democracy, and of course migration. And in recent years, I understand you've worked in several interdisciplinary projects on citizenship and migration policy in the European Union. And her recent publications include monographs like Axel Hegerström in Modern Social Thought, and an Italian one. This is probably why you've just flew in from Italy, I suppose. Cittadini e non, forme e funzioni dell'inclusione e dell'esclusione. So it's all about inclusion and exclusion, who belongs, who doesn't, and what is it all about, and how can we actually live peacefully together. And of course, you also published a very important monograph about European citizenship after Brexit. This is, as I've said earlier, the second event in a series, but it's nicely synchronized with a tour, with an exhibition that is touring Sweden right as we speak. And this exhibition is really dear to me and my dear colleague Daphne Springhorn. It's all about European values, it's about European humanism, and we presented it last Friday at the Research Friday, which is a wonderful institution, and 4,500 students came to see it. So you're part of a bigger picture, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, I promise to be brief. I'll shut up right here, and please join me in welcoming Dr. Professor Volker Heinz first. I'll hand over the microphone. Please join me in welcoming.